How are we supposed to start a conversation with someone we want to be friends with? That is a Dale Carnegie trick. You just notice something about a person, and it can be anything. People like to talk about themselves. Interesting coat/gear, car, interesting lunch, nice looking dog, I see you in the gym all the time, what program do you follow? Not an inclusive list, but give them a head start. I am an introvert, and this has saved my ass again and again. Casually, just start a conversation and let it flow. Start with a simple topic about plans for the weekend, and just build upon that. It's really not that hard. Just figure out something that you and this person have in common and connect on that. You're getting a lot of joke answers, but here's what I do. There's an acronym for it, meaning family, occupation, recreation, dreams. You can draw on one of those ideas for conversation topics. I live in a city that has a lot of transplants, San Diego. So if I meet someone new, I ask if they grew up here. If yes, then I ask which school they went to, or what their favorite thing they enjoyed about growing up here. If not, I ask where they're from, what brought them to San Diego. I'll ask what they like doing for fun, what their passions are. Do they like surfing, camping, biking, hiking? I hope for a response with similar interests to my own. I enjoy biking, so if they say they enjoy biking, I'll ask where they like to go, and what kind of biking, beach cruising, road biking, mountain biking. The point is to find common areas of interest. So if I find someone who enjoys the same things I do, then I have that into a relationship. If they say they like road biking, then I can say, hey, my friend and I go biking on Saturdays. Would you be up for joining? If they say yes, then you can get their number, and you can start hanging out, and soon enough, you're friends. You can start the conversation about them first. People naturally find it easier to talk to others about themselves. Either make an honest compliment or statement about something you can immediately notice and trail into a conversation. Hey, I love those kind of shoes, but haven't been able to find them anywhere. Where'd you get yours? Or look them up on social media. LinkedIn is a good one for clues to not creepy interests you can learn about someone, X, professions, education, etc., to have something to chat about. There's nothing wrong with that, and more people do this than others realize. A few weeks ago, I was at the park with my 3-year-old son. While I was there, I overheard one kid, about 10 years old, introduce himself to another kid about the same age. Hi, my name is Name. What is your name? Do you want to be friends? The other kid told the first kid his name, and they were friends. I was taking mental notes. Make statement about a shared experience. Then ask a question. Note, don't be creepy. If the person is interested, they'll respond positively. If they don't, move on. That was a tough workout class today. Are you enjoying the class? Well, you want to be friends, yes. There is something about them that makes you want to be their friend. There's your conversation starter. Shared interests, small talk, never underestimate the power of kindness. If it doesn't work out, then it wasn't meant to. That's the thing about the internet generations, so afraid of conversation. Trust me, everyone is weird, awkward, and insecure in some way. Closing yourself off from people who could be your next best friends is no way to live life. When I was single, I had this issue when trying to talk to girls. Somehow the planets aligned when I met the girl I eventually married. Once that happened, the difficulty I had striking up a conversation with women completely disappeared, since I was off the market. If my wife happens to pass away before me, I have no doubt that lockjaw will make a reappearance. Literally just say anything. People don't give a fuck. But if you're lacking confidence, aim for something neutral. Like about the TV show, or liking their shirt. It's basic and easy. You'll figure out from there if there's chemistry or not. It doesn't always click with people. But you'll find too that, with some people, you won't mind working a little harder to try and click with. Some people are obnoxious, others are just meh. People don't always vibe, or the vibe is a little different. Just roll with it. But personally, I say just improv. It's much better to be in the moment, rather than planning and plotting lol. It just feels better, and when if, cause it happens to everyone, that you mess up, it'll roll off quicker and you'll adjust much easier. Because you're in the moment, which can be scary, but you aren't concerned with scripts or hacks or things like that. How do you know you want to be friends? Most likely you have seen them more than once. What do you have in common? School, a class, gym, bar. First show them, you won't take up too much of their time. I've got a class in 5 minutes, but I wanted to ask you about the assignment, or what do you think of Stroman's pitching, or whatever is related to what you have in common. I'll give you an example, how I met one of my close friends over 10 years ago. I like your shoes. We were in 6th grade. He had Velcro shoes, and my mom always made me get laces, so I was jealous of how cool his shoes were. He looked at me like I was crazy. We've been friends since. Me and my best friend have a funny story about this. We met at a birthday party and everyone was watching a movie. Me on one end of the crowd, 5 people next. This dude Fred. I said in the middle of the movie, "I love you, Fred," and he said, "I love you too." 9 years later we are still best friends and laugh at this memory. Love you, Fred. Edit. Thanks so much for the awards, it's my first time getting one. Fred said hi to you all. Many ways. What's up? How are you? Did you hear? You got your haircut, etc. For me, using any and all of those comments start us talking, but nonverbal communication develops also between a good friend, and unless needed they may not say anything, just smile. To take it a step further, I do like to take notice of any changes about them and comment. Love the dress, etc. I believe if you start with a positive comment about them personally, it will show a more intimate notice and builds confidence. This allows the start of a great conversation. Best wishes. I don't think starting a conversation is important. Some people just aren't looking for friends. Some people give off the air that that's what they're looking for, but in reality they just wanted a nice conversation. or multiple nice conversations. They may even see you every once in a while. But they never wanted to be friends. And it's hard to pinpoint this. The first thing you would do is go up to someone and compliment them for something you like about something they possess or something they do well at. Try to find common interests by asking them questions about themselves. If they ask you for it, give good advice and ask them for good advice. Friends like the pride of knowing they can help you. Don't correct them if they didn't ask for it. Just don't overthink it. I met my best friend in the awkward way possible. I was the new guy at high school and one of the dudes took the same bus as me, so I asked him on the bus, "Hey bro, wanna be my friend?" And he said, "Sure." That's it. Very odd, but it worked. I assume that would be the normal answer for someone normal. OFC, if he were someone mean, the answer would have been different. My name is your name, and I am the fastest man alive. When I was a child, I saw my mother killed by something impossible. My father went to prison for the murder. Then an accident made me the impossible. To the outside world, I'm an ordinary forensic scientist, but secretly, I use my speed to fight crime and find others like me. And one day, I'll find who killed my mother and get justice for my father. I am your name. Pretend you're in kindergarten. Seriously. I just did this and it worked. At a group gathering, COVID-19 safe, people are talking in random groups. This one woman and I started taking a few times, and then she said something that we both resonated with, and I go, "OMG, can we be best friends?" And she was like, "Yes." The moment we started talking, I wanted to be your best friend. We're not best friends, but we are friends and could be getting that best status soon. If they're talking with other people, smoothly butt in on the conversation with something funny relating to the conversation. It has worked 90% of the time for me, the 10% being them saying "Bro, who asked?" and walking away. But if they're that type of person, you really shouldn't hang out with them anyways. Depends on if it's a guy or woman. If it's a guy, then I look at what he's wearing. Don't know why, but I can make a quick and I'd say 75% accurate guess on what type of things a person likes based on clothes, and either comment sports or tech stuff. If it's a woman, then that's where I somewhat stumble a bit. If she's talkative, then I find common ground, usually overhear something she says and bring it up later when the conversation flows. If she's shy, then I try and ease her to the conversation. First of all, I should note that in the cases where I've used these, it's been situations where we've either ended up together, next to each other in a class for instance, or they've already chosen to approach and be near me. The foundation is already there. On a similar note, as others have said, it's best not to approach this with the direct intent of making someone your friend. In these cases, it's more been a case of simply casually breaking the silence, something they'll be grateful for, if anything. What happens afterwards, happens. All that said, generally, it's best to say something related to whatever they or the both of you are doing, studying. Ask them about the subject they're doing. Reading. If you've read the book, make a comment on it yourself. Simple topics like that which are mutual, and can act as a jumping off point for a conversation. Failing that, there's always, I feel kinda bad asking this, as I'm sure you've mentioned it before, but what's your name again? I know the common fear is that you walk up to someone and say, hey, you're interesting. You wanna be friends. And the person looks at you like you're a bug and says, no. But the thing is that that's the best outcome possible, because they're honest enough to tell you straight away that they aren't worth being friends with. Alternatively, you get stuck with a friend who's there for you when you need them and is fun to hang out with. Trick is to recognize someone as a person and then open the conversation. Hey, I noticed that you like to do the crossword. What ya doing later? Nice shirt. Wanna have a beer? Hey, you seem like a person who has opinions. What do you think about 7-string guitars? Metal head pretension or a valid extension of an already versatile instrument? Greetings, fellow human specimen. I'm speaking to you today to request a mutual friendship agreement. I will grant you 24 hours to come to a conclusion on whether said agreement is desirable. After that period, we can have a structured debate on the rules and regulations for said friendship agreement. Thank you for your time. I hated my best friend, before he was my friend, and it was a free day in school and I was on PUBG and he was on it. I asked if he wanted to play and we were super good. We went home but kept playing and I said I wish he had an Xbox. Turns out he did. Now we play almost every day for the last 3 years. Frankly, I find that the biggest impediment to people making friends is not their starters, but how far they wanna push after barely knowing somebody. And by that I mean, a couple of funny conversations over a 2-month period do not mean you have a right to know where I live, how much money I make, nor do they turn me into your personal shrink. People desperate for friends will often sabotage themselves specifically because of that desperation. It depends on the context of the interaction. If there's someone you see regularly in a reoccurring social situation, school, work, club, etc., then there's 2 methods to deepen a relationship. If you don't know a lot about this person, make small talk about things you're doing or watching or reading. See if they reciprocate. See if you have common likes and interests. If yes, move on to stage 2. Stage 2 is you have determined this is someone you would like to hang out with on the regular. So invite them to something you're doing with your other friends. Like, hey, I know you were interested in seeing Spider-Man, I'm doing a movie night with some other friends you in. I met one of my best friends through a gaming group another mutual friend was hosting. When the game eventually dissolved due to scheduling issues, I knew I wanted to be friends with this person, so I made a point of asking her to things. I already knew we had nerd stuff in common, so it was easy to find new ways to hang out. And I knew she also wanted to be friends because she invited me to stuff too. Hey, what's up? Name, I hear you like. I'm a big fan of it too. Then try to dig in with questions, and when he speaks, don't think about what you're gonna say next. Just like when you're dancing, you don't look at your own feet cause you're gonna step on your partner. Really listen to the person and questions will pop up in your head. Good luck, have a good one. Remember, it isn't just a matter of you wanting to be their friend, but also that they are deserving of your friendship and also want to be your friend. You've been given excellent advice about just starting to chat about what you enjoy. If a conversation is enjoyable and runs smoothly, a friendship may not be that far off.